Hello there, my name is Danielle. This is a yoga for COVID, and it is made possible by funding from the Vancouver Foundation Small Neighbourhood grant. Hopefully this will be a more simpler yoga class, and maybe be more accessible to more people. Please find a comfortable position on the ground, sitting cross-legged, or your most favorite position. You can sit on a chip block, or a bolster, or even a pillow if that's what you have around. Make sure you do have something that's bolster equivalent, some foam blocks are their equivalent, and a rolled towel or blanket. Okay, so coming into your comfortable seat, I'm going to sit on the chip block just to give myself a bit of more of a padding. I'm going to start off with just closing my eyes and taking a few deep cleansing breaths. So in through my nose, out through my nose, except for the last one we'll let out with a ha, and really practicing that ujjayi breath. So closing down the back, restricting the back of our throat so we can hear our breaths. Let's do that. So inhale. Beautiful. You should be breathing loud enough that somebody in the next room can hear you. Let's warm up our bodies a little bit by doing some breathing and movement at the same time. So we're going to clasp our hands together in front of us and inhale our arms up. When we get to the top, we're going to flip them and exhale down. And as we come down, we're going to really round our shoulders back, giving that stretch. Then inhale, hands back facing toward the outside, inhale up, exhale back down, rounding the shoulders. Let's do that a couple more times. So inhale, coming forward and up, reaching really high. Exhale, flipping your hands out and rounding. Inhale up, reaching high. Exhale, pushing out and rounding at the same time. And last one, inhale. And exhale. Dropping your hands onto your knees. Pull your shoulders up, back, and down. Extend your arms out. Rotate your shoulders and arms backwards and then forwards. Extend your arms out in front of you. Reach your right arm underneath your left. And bring your hands up. See if you can clasp your right fingers around your left thumb. If that doesn't work, you don't have the reach, you can always just place your hands on your opposite shoulders. So we have our hands clasped. I have you can also have just your fingers on your palm, opposite palm. Bring your hands up, bring your arms up to the shoulder height, and reaching up and back. Feeling that stretch in your shoulder blades. Let's take 2 breaths. And then release. Other side. Right arm under left. We just did that way. Right arm under left. And making sure you do the opposite side. Placing your hands on your opposite palm, or grabbing your thumb, or again, hands to your shoulders. Up to shoulder height. Breathing in and really feeling the push into your shoulder blades. It should feel like a release there. And breathing. And dropping your hands back down. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to try our breathing. This today is going to be alternate nostril breathing. So this breath, it helps apparently help with your cardiovascular health, as well as lower your risk for cardiac arrest. According to this website I read, it does definitely help you feel like you're calming your system down. So you can place your left hand on your left knee and bring your right hand up to your face. You can rest your pointer finger and your index finger on your forehead. So you have ability to pinch your nose shut with either your thumb and one or two of the other small fingers. I'm going to do a complete exhale to begin. And then we're going to pinch our right nostril shut and breathe in through our left nostril. Pinch that shut, and then exhale out your right, because you just released the right. Inhale through your right, pinch, and exhale out your left. Inhale through left, pinch, out your right. Inhale right, pinch, exhale left. Inhale left, exhale right. Inhale right, exhale left. Come back to breathing normally, putting your right hand down. Good, I hope you found that fairly simple to follow. Remove the block or anything that you're sitting on. Bring your legs out in front of you, give them a good tap. Hands on the ground. Bring your knees up, and we're just going to windshield wiper our hands a little bit. So we're leaning back and windshield wiping your legs back and forth. Coming back to a seated position. Your legs extended in front of you, sitting it nice and tall. We're going to hold staff pose for a little bit. So you really want to make sure you're pointing your toes up. You should be feeling that on your calves as you have your toes pointed. And we're going to slowly lean forward, hinging from our hips, coming into a forward fold. So remember, everybody's edge is different. So remember, edge is also where you feel that, not where it hurts, but where you have some discomfort. Mine, because of my back issues, is probably not as much as other people. But could be more than some. Each of us is different. We're going to hold for a little bit. And really hinging from your hips. And release, rolling up slowly. Beautiful. Okay. Bring your legs back together again. Just bringing your knees up like this. We're just going to do a bit of a twist. So grabbing your knees, twisting to your left first of all, making sure you're sitting up nice and tall, just twist. Nice, easy twist. Coming back, grabbing your knees with your right hand, or your left hand, twisting open to the left. Placing to the right, placing your right hand up behind you. And coming back to center. Coming up into tabletop. Lift up your right leg and plant your foot on the ground in front. So you're coming into a bit of a lunge of some sort. Yes. Ensure you have a nice strong line between your knee all the way up your body. Raise your left hand in the air and turn your hand out and turn your body to the right. Should feel that stretch in your spine and in your back. Coming back over to center, place your hands on the ground. You may want to have a block available to you. So we're going to reach. We're going to stretch the front leg open, bringing the foot off the ground into a bit of a front lunge or runner stretch. I'm going to place the foot back down, lean forward, coming into a runner stretch or a low lunge on the back side. Pushing back, using the block to give you some support. Foot up and back. This is called flossing your legs. Back into runner stretch. And then one more time into our low lunge. Remove the block for a second. Place your hands on the ground. Bring your knees both parallel to each other. And switch sides, placing your left foot on the ground, coming up onto your knee. You may find you want to pad your knee, so using a blanket or a block, chip block. Sitting up nice and tall, nice and strong in your torso, raising your right arm in the air. Turn the hand up and out as you turn to your left, placing your left hand on behind you, onto your hips. Get a bit of stretch. Going back down to center again. Dropping the hands. Using that block, you can either put it on the outside of your foot or the inside, it's up to you. And stretching out into the runner stretch. Holding for a bit, then coming forward into the low lunge. Back. Runner stretch. Remember to breathe while doing this. Into your low lunge. I injured myself gardening using the shovel, so I can really feel it in basically my upper thigh and groin area on my left side right now. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale into your low lunge. Exhale to the back. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Bring your foot back down beside you, so they're both beside each other. Placing your hands on the ground, nice and strong. Come up onto your toes. And then bring your feet up to your hands. You can either walk, jump, or just step your feet forward, coming into your forward fold. And go into your forward fold. And you can clasp your elbows with your hands and give yourself a bit of a rock back and forth. Good. Dropping the arms back down. Inhale up into your half lift or flat back. Looking not really completely forward, but looking still on the ground. Exhale back down again. And then roll all the way back up to standing. We're going to do a modified sun salutation, so no lunges, but still downward dog and all that jazz. So into your mountain pose. Prayer fold forward, raising the arms up first, coming down, Down into our forward fold. Inhale to half lift, or flat back. Exhale back down, hands to the ground. Step back into plank. So remember, if you have trouble with your wrists, you can come down to dolphin arms. And we're going to lower all the way down to the ground. We're going to come up into cobra, so we're dragging our nose along the ground as we lift up. Going into cobra and release. Now you have a choice, either going pushing back into child's pose or all the way up into downward facing dog. And walking up your dog once you get to downward dog, because that's what you chose. If you're in child's pose, come up onto your knees and then up to your toes and walk or jump your hands. Walk your feet to your hands. If you're downward facing dog, you can easily do that as well. Coming into your forward fold again. Half lift. Inhale to half lift or flat back. And release. Roll up standing. Take a deep breath in mountain pose. Let's do it one more time. Inhale up. Hands clasped together as you fold forward. Hands down. I'm going to clasp the back of my calves with my hands this time, so I'm really pulling myself into my forward fold, trying to get my chest or abdomen into my thighs. And you should pull on your legs a bit differently. Release, half lift. And coming all the way down. Dropping back down to your forward fold, hands to the ground, step back into your plank position. Tucking that tummy in, nice and strong. Lower, making sure that you're lowering with your elbows tucked in. Really working those muscles because you need those for crow. Coming all the way down. This time let's come up to Sphinx. So elbows right underneath your shoulders. Nice and strong. Feel a nice, good stretch into your lower back. Release down. Hands back underneath your shoulders. And push up to either downward facing dog or child's pose. If you go to downward facing dog, remember, really to push your hips to the sky as you're trying to push your feet to the ground. If you're in child's pose, come up to your tabletop and then get your feet to your hands. Walking your feet to your hands. Or jumping, up to you. Coming into our forward fold. And then our last half lift or flat back. Really inhaling up. Looking for the top of your mat. Nice and strong back. And then release. Coming down to your knees. Okay, we're going to try a different version of crow today. I'm going to use the wall to help us. I'm going to place my blocks right against the wall. And then I'm going to use the wall to place my feet on once I get into position. That helps me hold that balance. So, getting into position, placing my feet onto the blocks. And this really only works if you're going into the elbows against your knees into your elbows rather than your knees up on your arms. So getting those hands nice and strong, internally rotating, pressing your elbows into your knees. Lift up your foot, 1 foot at a time, walk it up the wall. Then you can really work on holding it, working on the position, looking forward, lifting your butt up, sort of covering your back. You can hold it for longer. So once again, you're using the blocks, get you into position, and then using the wall. I'm going to try it one more time. My feet on those blocks, getting the hands into position, locking the elbows by rotating in, lifting 1 foot at a time, coming into that position. You can tell I'm a little tired. Dropped out of it pretty fast. But it gives you that opportunity to really feel the position without putting, without having more success at it in it. Okay. Take a couple breaths in child's pose. Coming down. Let's do wide-legged child's pose. See if you can really extend your legs or your knees off of your mat as you come into this pose. Coming back up onto your knees, plant your feet on the ground, and then rolling yourself up into standing position. Our balance today is going to be eagle. Get yourselves ready for that. We're going to do a couple chair poses. So our feet about hip distance apart. So remember, hip distance apart is placing your hands, fists in between your feet. Coming up, send the arms up as you sit your bottom and the hips, facing your hips backwards. And coming up. We're going to start with our right side first. So pouring the weight into your left side. Lifting your foot off the ground. Now, if you have tried this pose before and realize that you have issues with it, you can use a block. Place a block on the outside of your right foot. And then when you sit yourself down and wrap your left foot around it, you can place your toes on the block. Or you can flip the block up. And so you have that little bit of support so you can get into that pose and hold it for longer. I'm just going to drop the block so I can wrap my left leg all the way around my right. And then we're going to get our arms in. So it's going to be left under right. I remember by knowing it's the same, your same foot, same leg, and same arm are closest together. And release gently. Once again, give your body a shake. Let's do a chair pose just to make sure we have that movement in between. And then coming up this time all the way on your tippy toes and stand all the way up. Dropping back down. Pour your weight to your left side. Lifting up the leg, wrapping it around. You need this extra support, use the block. Dropping down. And each side is going to be different. I can feel that left side is cramping up a little bit more. Arms up, back straight, and breathe. And release. And lower yourself onto the ground again. Let's do our yogi squat. Now, notice by looking at the video that I don't squat very back, straight backed. So I'm really going to try to squat using my back straight. So my bum comes down a little further. Remember, you can always sit on something You want to hold it for a bit longer. Pushing those elbows into your knees to push your legs apart. And release, coming all the way down to the ground. Our last move today is going to be a yin pose, because we're going to hold it for a bit longer, and it's a chest opener. There's 4 variations of this one. The easiest one is to take your rolled up towel, place it lengthwise along the mat, and then lean your body over it like this. If you want to open a bit more, you can turn it so it's widthwise and lean over it. Next step up, using your bolster. So lengthwise again. So the next step, lean over it like that. Or turning it so it lays right just around your bra line as you lean down. And then there's the block version. So you can turn your blocks various ways. So if you place your block right where your spine would be, feel your spine, and then you can place this one for your head. If you have it so it's flat side down, it's more of a stretch. Or you can turn it so it's the same height as the one for your back. Or you can even turn it so it's up top, so your head's going to be a little bit higher than your back. I'm going to go for the most extreme version, so that's flat on the, you can't see it. So you want to have it right kind of digging into your lower back, so you lean back, placing your head on the block, arms outstretched. Your legs can be any way you want, so you can bring them up to get the inner leg stretched for bound. If you have them as bound angle, you can have them extended. It was totally supposed to be like, it's a massage for your back as the blocks dig into your back. Remember to breathe. Let's try some ujjayi breaths. So breathing in through your nose, constricting the back of your throat, and breathing out through your nose. Just breathing loud enough that people in the next room can hear you. Let's do 2 more breaths. Let's make those nice and long and then release with a ha. Slowly roll off your blocks, coming into fetal position on your side. Use one hand to just push away the blocks. Really curl up. And then roll back onto your mat. Doing one last move before we go into Shavasana, whatever you think your body feels like it needs. I'm coming into a nice full body crunch. My nose to my knees, rocking it a little bit, then releasing down. Remember your 3-part breath while you're in this position. So breathing in through your belly and then through your ribcage and then your chest, and try to release that in the same way. You can practice some of those breaths. And remember, you can leave the Shavasana on as long as you wish, but you may want to make sure that you're pausing the video as you go into Shavasana so you're not woken up by the next video on the list starting to play. Thank you very much for joining me for this yoga videos and this yoga series. Hope you have a wonderful day. Namaste.